Well, hey guys, and happy end of the week. So this week I'm going to be... Hey guys, and happy end of the week. So this week I'm going to start doing a weekly roundup with you where we basically answer all the questions that we've got throughout the week, well, as many as we can fit. And we also talk to you about what we've been up to this week in our DIY huge renovation for our Queenslander. So let me go and get Derek. Let's sit down and let's work through some of those questions. Thanks for joining us, everyone. As I said, this is going to be our weekly Q&A session. For those of you who don't know us, my name is Claire O'Connell.
I'm Derek.
And we are Renovate Live, so you can follow us over on Instagram or TikTok. And what we're going to do is use the basis of these questions are questions that I'm getting on social media and different channels. Going to be featured on our next Q&A. Just make sure you tag me over on Instagram with or add a question to one of my posts. Or if you want, you can basically take a picture of yourself watching this video, share it over on stories on Instagram, but make sure you tag me so I know that you've done that. And then I'll give you a shout out in the next video. Or of course, you can always comment below. Super easy. Okay, let's get started. So we've got lots of questions. So today we thought was a good day to start our weekly roundup for our renovation. And the reason why is today is our 1 year anniversary of actually stepping foot on Queensland soil after our big adventure a year ago where we moved countries from Florida. We moved back to Australia and we ended up in quarantine for 2 weeks. It was a mammoth trip, packing up 3 babies and 3 dogs. And we bought this house, this gorgeous house. There's the underside of the upstairs. Ooh, sight unseen. And today, a year ago, was the first time that we actually got to walk through it. And how did it feel?
Overwhelming.
Amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, we made the right decision. So excited. Now, I thought to mark this anniversary would start our Q&A because I am getting lots of questions and I thought this would be a nice way of putting it all together. Question 1 is actually not related to the renovation, but is related to our move back to Australia. So I recently posted a little story where I shared our journey and how we packed up and moved countries. And I said that we'd packed up our dogs, said goodbye to them temporarily, but I was asked the question whether or not we left them behind. And absolutely not.
So like cutting off your left arm?
Is the answer. No.
Couldn't happen.
Mummy cried for days. We had to ship them off. They had to come separately. And it was sad, wasn't it?
It was hard times,
so
but
sad.
we made it through, and here we are at the other side.
Yeah, and we knew this was going to be the last flight. We said that the last time. I mean, they were born in Ireland. Yeah. And then we brought them across on the ferry to the UK where we were living at the time. And then we brought them across from the UK to America and then America to Australia. But we did promise them that this was the last trip. This was a long trip, and I definitely wouldn't want to put them through that again.
No, but we said that last time, so fingers crossed.
You never say never. Home. Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
But, look, they're our family, so don't worry to all you doggy lovers out there. We did not say goodbye to the dogs forever, just for a few weeks. So another question that we've been getting a lot is around flooding. So we're in Queensland, Brisbane. If you watch in the news, the last couple of weeks, we've had torrential rain, which has basically flooded a huge amount of areas around Brisbane, including the CBD, and we actually had some flooding at the end of our street. And they did also have some big floods in 2011. So people are saying that we should not, be worried about raising the house and building underneath. So we did double check the flood maps when we bought this house.
Or your parents did?
My parents did.
Yeah, because they're more familiar with this area in Brisbane, whereas we were in Florida.
Yeah, Mum was here during the last floods, so she knew that what flooded, what didn't, and was very particular.
It was very, very helpful.
So once again, sight unseen, so we weren't able to see the elevation of the property as far as like where it was on the street, that kind of stuff. There's only so much you can tell, but our lot is high and dry. So fill up our pool though.
It did, with green water.
Yeah, that's manky. The next question was how much did it cost to raise the house? And how much did it cost to put down the slab? So the slab is what might let you take this one.
Well, a house raise depends on how big the house is and obviously on your engineer. Our engineer over-engineered everything, which makes it better for future-proofing, but it just costs a little bit more at the beginning. And the prices came in between 35 and 55 for the raise. And that just includes the steel posts and the jacking up of the house and the concreting in of the steel posts only. But none of the concrete work afterwards. And then the concrete, of course, that comes down to a lot of other things. We're currently over 100,000 just for concrete.
Oh gosh!
And all the bits that goes with it. That's the prep work and all the reinforcement steels and odds and ends, backfill and stuff. So it's not the cheapest over here.
So you can see why we're DIYing as much as we possibly can. So the other question we've been getting is, how are we DIYing as much as we can? And so where we're based is in Queensland, Australia, and they have what's called an owner builder license. I'll hand back over to the main squeeze over here to tell you a little bit more about that.
So owner builder, you get your own permit. You have to do some courses just to make sure you're qualified to do owner builder.
They're pretty
with health and
straightforward, though, aren't
safety.
they?
Yeah, just health and safety stuff to make sure you know what's the do's and don'ts, so you don't cause injury to yourself or people around you. And it's also like a learning thing to see what you need to have in place, like insurance, and what's covered and what's not. And once you get that, then there's things you can and can't do. So obviously
you can build a pool.
You can build
a pool.
And you can frame your house in, but you can't do your AC, plumbing or electrical.
But you can build a pool. It's mental. We didn't build our own pool.
We did not.
But we are DIYing the framing, which gets checked by an engineer, by the way. So it's not like you're off on your own deciding what goes where. You need to at least, follow the plans. You've got really good structural engineering plans to use as a basis. But yeah, you can build a pool. How mental. Okay. So, and then, so the other question I was getting this week is it cheaper to have not knocked the house and built instead of raising the house? And the answer to that is a resounding yes, it would have been. But this house is a Queenslander. So basically, Queenslanders this house was built over 100 years ago. It has a character overlay, so you can't just knock it. And it's a piece of history. And for sustainability, guys, we're not one for knocking down houses anyway.
We are not.
We prefer to renovate because, it's just such a waste of materials and resources to knock something and just rebuild. And it is nice to have the challenge to start with something that doesn't quite work for you now and make it, perfect. As perfect as it can be.
It will be perfect.
It will be pretty perfect for us. So it definitely would have been cheaper, but that's not always the answer. And we'll end up with a beautiful character home that will last now for another 100 years. And we'll have, more modern add-on and building in underneath, which is going to be perfect for our family. We've got 3 kids, 3 dogs, so we've got a lot more space. This space is huge, as you can see. So we really put a lot of thought into the design and the floor plan of this house. And so... No, absolutely not. Okay, that's it. That's it for the week. So, little roundup quickly before we say goodbye this week. We have been busy. Well, I say we. I helped a little bit. But this main man here... Whoa, Derek has been busy framing up this house. And let me just show you. So you started framing what day?
Monday afternoon.
Monday afternoon. So let me just share with you the progress. So on Monday morning, basically all of this wood that you see was still sitting in a pile. So he has framed up all along here, all along the back wall. And he's also, I think I just showed you my washing too. Hey, we're living in a reno, what can you do? And he's also started framing up this section here. Now this section here is where the original house, let's just walk over here. Whew, gonna get a little bit of sun here, so just excuse me for a sec. But this is where the original house, as you can see, there's the side of it. This is where the original house ends, and this is where our extension will begin. So he needs to frame all out here, as well as all the interiors. So he's doing super well. So what's that?
Simple.
Today is Friday. So that's like 4 days of framing, and bish bash bosh, this is where we stand. Anyway, guys, like I said, if you like anything to do with renovations, DIY tips, those sorts of things, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss a video.
Happy Friday.
And if you want to shout out with your question, then make sure that you tag me, add a comment below, or you can add a comment over on the other social medias. Anyway, guys, see you later. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week.
Ciao.
Got to cut that out. We can't laugh at you during that. Go on.